Happy readers and happy Mermaid Monday! Today we're going to be chasing mermaids. I am talking about The Summer of Chasing Mermaids by Sarah Auchler, and I'm also a part of a blog tour with Simon & Schuster, all those things thanks to my friend Kelsey. So in the description below I have a link to my blog post, and there is a giveaway, but there's also a list of other blogs down there, and they are doing giveaways, they're doing fun stuff. Being that I've only heard good things about Sarah Auchler and that this is my first Sarah Auchler read, I had quite high expectations. Not super high, but you know, when you hear good things, you got some expectations there, and I feel like they were met. I feel like even more so, like, she adds some diversity factor in there. The main character, Elise, is from Tobago. She actually said in her acknowledgements that she had a couple of friends that she could ask like a zillion questions, and they just really helped her out, and I thought that was really cool, and that was super important and super amazing. Basically, this character is from those islands, and she, you know, her dad is a cocoa farmer, and they do stuff with chocolate, but her grandmother owns an eco-resort. Elise and her twin sister Natalie are really good at singing. They're very, very talented. They get offered to go on tour with this lady, Bella Garcia, and there's a lot of character names in here. But Bella Garcia is like, I want you to go on tour with me. I think you're fantastic. Let's do this. And so they are partying. Basically, Natalie, Elise, and Elise's boyfriend Julian decide to go on a boat, and a big wave hits them, I believe, and Elise gets knocked off board, and so this crazy stuff happens, and she ends up losing her voice, and through that decides that she needs to leave the island, leave her family, and go live in Oregon with her dad's good friend Lemon, also known as Ursula. So this whole life change crazy stuff happens just in time for the summer, and just in time for the Cove's seasonal residents to come in, and with that comes some good friends like Vanessa, who's from Texas and is amazing, feminist killjoy. Read the book, you'll know what I mean. She's amazing. But you also have Christian Kane, who is our philanthropist, playboy, millionaire, Tony Stark in teenager form. But also, he gets kind of wrapped up into stuff because his dad and his best friend's dad decide that they need to have their sons race the boats, race the sailing boats, and the winner of, basically, one of them, when Noah wins, Christian, basically, his family has to sell their summer home. If Christian wins the whole entire race, Noah has to give him the boat, the nice boat. Christian has a not-so-nice boat. One of the storylines is that they're trying to save the Cove and save the Cove from these developers and whatnot. You also have Elise making friends and trying to get out of her shell. It's not your usual because she doesn't have a voice. And so it's very interesting to see a book that doesn't have, like, she does have some dialogue, and, you know, if you have taken any sort of communication classes, you know that you can say a lot without saying anything. She does like mouth things, and everyone in this book seems to be pretty good at lip reading. I am terrible at lip reading. I feel like I would be that friend to be like, you have to write everything down. I'm sorry. So you have her discovering that there are different ways to show her voice and different ways to live her life, and also her coming away from the harshness of that reality of, I'm not going to become a singer, I'm not going to travel the world with my voice that I once had and don't have any more, which is super sad. But she makes all these great friends and this new family to her. She still hasn't totally figured everything out, which is a nice thing about this book, is even with Christian saying that he doesn't really know what he wants to do with his life, you're just like, you know, but they're on that track. You know, you have a feeling that they're going to go good places, because that's kind of how it ends, is like, not necessarily like riding off into the sunset, having everything figured out, but it's really nice that there's just like, hey, you know, we're getting there, we're going there, we're progressing there. So there's a lot of a good progression within the novel and a lot of stuff happening in the novel, but you also have like that feeling of good stuff's gonna happen to these people. Real stuff too, but good stuff. So overall, I thought this book had really good themes and really just authentic atmosphere to it. I know it is a contemporary novel, but it also has some superstition in there. It also has a little bit of magic. Not quite like fantasy kind of stuff, but it toes the line of like, oh my gosh, is she really seeing mermaids? Is this stuff really happening to her? I don't know if you would quite call it magical realism, but I would definitely say that it definitely adds another element to it, so it's not just like plain Jane contemporary, you've got some other stuff to it. Again, I have a giveaway going on my blog for a copy of this book, so if you want to go win that, do that. Also, don't forget to pre-order this book because it's amazing and it's wonderful, and I feel like it's a good introduction to another culture and stuff and whatnot, and I really like Elise. She was cool, and I also liked a lot of the other characters too. Kirby and Noah and Sebastian was the best. Like, cool people, yes, and Lemon and Mrs. Kane even. So go check all of that out, and go check out all the other blog posts on this hashtag Mermaid Monday. So go follow that hashtag and see who else is posting, but also I have all those links in my blog post below. I hope you guys have a great day and keep reading.